Hi everyone, we are from Group 6 and I'm Edmund. And this is my group member Lim Xingzi, Ong Lik Heng, Ng Yin Xuan, and Oh Kai Shen. So today we will talk about the deforestation issue. So for the 1.0 introduction, 1.1, what is an environmental issue? Environmental issue is an interconnected problem affecting Earth's natural system. Include climate change, pollution, overpollution, and energy overuse. It's shaped by social, political, and historical factors. Human activities intensify natural disturbance, for example, flood and forest fire, and greenhouse gas emissions since the Industrial Revolution drive global warming, and unsustainable land use and resources extraction worsen the environmental damage. So for the one deforestation is the large-scale removal of tree and forest cover. Forests provide oxygen, raw material, and regulate earth temperature, driven mainly by commercial and economic activities and causes by climate imbalance and ecosystem disruption. And deforestation will lead to loss of biodiversity and wildlife habitats, a major environmental and economic issue in Malaysia. For 1.2, where is it happen? In Malaysia, there was 18 MHA of natural forest spread over 55% of the land area in 2020. In 2024, it lost 100 KHA of natural forest, which is equal to 71 MT of CO2 emission. For 1.3, when is it happen? Based on the Global Forest Watch, the primary forest loss in Malaysia from 2002 to 2024, it lost 3.0 MHA of humid primary forest, making up 33% of its total tree cover loss in the same period. And total area of humid primary forest in Malaysia decreased by 19% in this period. From 2001 to 2024, Malaysia lost 9.5 MHA of tree cover, equivalent to 32% of the 2003 cover area, and 5.5 GT of CO2 emission, and this does not account for the gain in tree cover over the same period. From 2021 to 2024, 70% of tree cover loss in Malaysia occurred within natural forests. The total loss within natural forest was 430 kHA, equivalent to 300 MT of CO2 emission. In Malaysia, the top two regions were responsible for 56% of all tree cover loss between 2001 and 2024. Sarawak had the most tree cover loss as 3.3 MHA compared to an average of 590 KHA.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Oh Kai Shen. My tree number is L2482998. Today, I will present about 1.4, which involves 1.4.1 Plantation Company Palm Oil. BRD Plantation Berhad has been accused by environmental groups of extensive deforestation in Sarawak. Satellite images show that more than 10,600 hectares of forest has been cleared since 2000, including about 900 hectares within a short period in 2015. Despite the land being unsuitable for agriculture, forest clearing continued with government approval. This deforestation poses serious environmental and social risks, threatening biodiversity and wildlife such as orang-utans, hornbills, and Borneo pygmy elephants. Based on Global Forest Watch data and former alerts, deforestation is still continuing in the BRD concession area. This slide shows that multiple deforestation alerts were recorded within a single year, indicating that forest clearing is ongoing and frequent. In addition, extensive plantation expansion in Sarawak has resulted in very few intact primary forests remaining in the state. Beyond environmental damage, also highlights the social impacts of deforestation. Forest clearing displaces forest-dependent communities, which threatens their livelihoods as well as their long-standing cultural ties to the land. This slide focuses on the involvement of financial institutions in the issue. According to the slide, the KNP oil palm plantation located near Pahang National Park cross-server deforestation and environmental impact assessment or EIA recommendations. As a result, the project experienced low yields, mainly because elephants destroy the young oil palm saplings in the area. Despite the plantation being loss-making, Bank Islam continued to provide funding for the project. At the same time, ongoing forest clearing and poor productivity clearly highlight both environmental damage and financial mismanagement. Next is 1.4.3 Logging Corporations. According to the slide, Rimbunan Hijau or AH is a Malaysian-owned multinational logging company operation in Papua New Guinea. The company has been widely criticized for illegal and unsustainable logging practice, as well as labor and human rights abuses. Its operations have been condemned by multiple Papua New Guinea government agencies and international organizations, highlighting the seriousness of the issue. One major project mentioned in the slide is Valala Brooks 2 and 3 in Gulf Province. Although this project is one of the largest and most profitable logging operations in Papua New Guinea, it has been highly controversial and is considered completely illegal from the beginning. This slide explains why the logging activities are considered illegal. First, there were no landowner rights involved. The government granted logging rights in 1992 before legally acquiring those rights from the landowners. Second, the permit process was invalid. The timber permit was issued directly by the minister without proper preparation by the forestry department, which goes against standard procedures. Third, the Forestry Act was ignored. When the land rights were later acquired, the required legal procedures were not followed, including conducting proper studies, using an open tender process, and selecting operators appropriately. Fourth, there was an expired permit. The timber permit expired in June 2002 and is no longer valid, so any logging after that date was illegal. 5. The logging was unsustainable. The approved harvest greatly exceeds sustainable limits, putting the forest at risk of complete depletion within 10 years. 6. There was no valid environmental approval. Logging continued without an approved environmental plan, which had also expired in 2002. Finally, this slide highlights the serious operational abuses related to the logging activities. According to the slide, a review conducted in 2003 found major violations in several areas. These include breaches of logging regulations, labor exploitation, failures in infrastructure development, and serious human rights abuses.
Hi everyone, my name is Ong Lik Hen and my mention number is A24A3846. So I will be presenting about the analysis of deforestation issue. So as you can see, the graph represents in Malaysia from 2001 to 2024, 77% of tree cover loss occur in areas where the dominant drivers of loss resulted in deforestation. The next one is 2.1, which is factors that lead to environmental problem. There are 5 factors such as logging, mineral extraction, population pressure, energy development, and road building. So let's take a look about the logging. So as you can see, logging is a clear and main cause of deforestation in Malaysia, destroying forest habitats. Although selective logging is now more common, but I think logging still accounts for about 80% of forest loss. And the next one is mineral extraction. Mining activities such as bauxite, tin, coal, and oil and gas extraction require forest clearance, particularly in Borneo, leading to habitat destruction and environmental degradation. The third one is population pressure. For example, government transmigration policies encourage urban poor to settle in rural areas, so it will be resulting in large-scale forest clearing for settlements and plantation. The next one is energy development, such as hydropower dams, oil and gas drilling and coal use have caused extensive flooding and forest loss, especially in Sarawak, to meet growing energy demands. Last but not least, road building. For example, road construction for logging, mining, settlements and energy projects opens up rainforest areas, accelerating deforestation and making forest loss difficult to monitor. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eng Shen and my metric number is A24A3322. So now I'm going to talk about 2.2 impact of deforestation. So this graph shows the impact of deforestation on natural forest cover in the Malaysia. For 2002 to 2024, Malaysia lost 2.0 MH share of humid primary forest, making up 33% of its total tree cover lost in the same period. Total area of humid primary forest in Malaysia decreased by 19% in this period. So the next one is 2.2.1, impact on the nutrient cycle. So in this picture, we can see monoculture, loss of biodiversity, and reduced interception and infiltration. They will cause increased overland flow and sedimentation in river, increased flow risks. They will also cause increased risk of landslide due to lack of road holding the site together. So it also cause increased leaching of nutrients. Increased CO2 in the atmosphere due to felled tree removing it for photosynthesis. Most nutrients in a tropical rainforest are stored in the biomass. Deforestation removes the main nutrient store when tree and vegetation are cleared. So the last part of mine is 2.2.2, social impact of deforestation. First one is less land and food for indigenous communities. Second is loss of traditional culture and lifestyle. These 2 points mean the native people have less land to support their traditional lifestyle, and the land does not get to restore itself. There is less food, and some of them can afford a better quality of life, which come in the form of higher incomes and employment. So the third one is some economic benefit, job and income. It means indigenous group can abandon their traditional lifestyle, which can result in the loss of culture and tradition. And the last one, higher risks of landslide and flood. Deforestation also put the risk of landslide, which may destroy house and road, potential source of any medicine resource, and increase the chance of water flow and in settlement area. That's all. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Lim Xinzi. My number matrix is A24A3230. Next, I will discuss the economic impact of deforestation. Deforestation can provide short-term economic benefits by creating employment in sectors such as logging, mining, agriculture, and hydroelectric power. These activities generate income through the export of timbers, minerals, and agricultural products, contributing to national economic growth. However, these benefits are often temporary and unsustainable. While companies gain profit, local communities may only receive short-term employment. In the long run, deforestation leads to economic losses such as reduced agricultural productivity, loss of ecosystem service, and highest costs related to environmental damage. Next, let's talk about rainforest deforestation has severe environmental consequences. First, it contributes to global warming because trees can no longer absorb carbon dioxide, and additional carbon is released during forest clearings. Second is cause loss of biodiversity, as many plant and animal species lose their natural habitats and face extinction. Third, deforestation leads to local climate change, increasing temperature and disrupting rainfall patterns, which can result in floods and droughts. This impact shows the rainforest deforestation affect both local and global environments. So now let's go to the conclusion. To conclude, deforestation is a serious environmental issue in Malaysia that is mainly caused by human activities such as logging, plantation expansion, mining, road construction, and energy development. This activity involves not only companies but also financial institutions that support high-risk projects. The impact of deforestation are very significant. Environmentally, it leads to forest loss, climate change, and biodiversity reduction. Socially, it affects indigenous communities through loss of lands, culture, and increased risk of flood and landslide. Economically, although deforestation provides short-term income and job opportunities, it creates long-term environmental damage that threatens sustainable development. Therefore, deforestation should be controlled through stricter law, responsible financing, and sustainable land use planning. Protecting forests is essential to ensure environmental balance and a better future for Malaysia. Thank you.